The late afternoon sun spills through the living room window, casting long, jagged shadows across the hardwood floor. I stand there, clutching a chipped ceramic mug of coffee that's gone cold. My fingers tremble slightly, not from the chill in the air, but from the weight of what's coming. Outside, the maple tree sways in the wind, its leaves whispering secrets I've long since deciphered. My phone buzzes on the coffee table, the screen lighting up with a text from David, my husband. "Be home late, love you." He doesn't know it yet, but our lives are about to change forever. I set the mug down and glance at the framed photo on the mantel. David and me, smiling on our wedding day. Behind us, barely visible in the crowd, is her. My mother-in-law, Margaret Thompson, with her tight-lipped smile and eyes that never warmed to me. She's been plotting for months, maybe years, to take back what she thinks is hers. This house, my home, my life. But she's underestimated me. She thinks she can push me out, I murmur to myself, my voice low and steady. But she doesn't know I've been waiting for this moment. One wrong step, Margaret, and you'll fall right into my trap. I pace the room, my bare feet silent on the rug. Every creak of the house feels like a warning, every tick of the clock a reminder that time is running out. Margaret's been circling like a vulture, dropping hints, making demands. Last week she suggested I move out to give David space. Space from his own wife. The audacity of it still burns, but I didn't argue. I smiled, nodded, and let her think she was winning. That's the thing about traps. They work best when the prey feels safe. The doorbell chimes, sharp and intrusive. My heart skips, but I force myself to stay calm. It's not her, not yet. I open the door to find a delivery man holding a small package. "Sarah Bennett?" he asks. I nod, signing for it. The package is light, unassuming, but its contents are my first weapon, legal documents I've been gathering for weeks. Proof that this house, despite Margaret's claims, is mine. Back inside, I tear open the package and spread the papers across the dining table. Deeds, contracts, emails. Each one a brick in the fortress I've built. Margaret thinks she can scare me out with her threats, but she doesn't know I've been studying her every move. The late-night calls to David, the family meetings I wasn't invited to, the whispered conversations that stopped when I entered the room. She's been weaving her web, but I've been spinning one of my own. I pick up a photo from the table, one I found tucked away in David's old desk. It's Margaret and David, standing in front of this very house years ago, before I came into the picture. Her arm is around him, possessive, her smile triumphant. She's always seen this house as hers, a kingdom she rules. But kingdoms fall, and I'm the one holding the battering ram. "What makes you think you can take what's mine, Margaret?" I whisper to the empty room. "Did you think I'd just pack my bags and disappear?" The phone buzzes again. Another text from David. "Mum's coming over tonight. She wants to talk." My pulse quickens, but my lips curve into a smile. Of course she's coming. She's ready to make her move. And I'm ready to let her think she's won, right before I pull the rug out from under her. The kitchen smells of garlic and rosemary as I chop vegetables for dinner. The rhythmic thud of the knife against the cutting board steadies my nerves. I'm not cooking for pleasure tonight. This is strategy. A warm, inviting meal to keep Margaret off balance, to make her think I'm still the docile daughter-in-law she can bully. The oven hums, and the clock on the wall ticks closer to her arrival. The front door slams open, and my knife pauses mid-chop. Margaret doesn't knock. She never has. Her heels click against the hardwood as she strides into the kitchen, her perfume, a cloying mix of jasmine and entitlement, announcing her before she speaks. "Sarah," she says, her voice sharp as a blade, "we need to talk." I don't turn around. I keep chopping, letting the silence stretch. Let her stew, I think. Let her think she's in control. Finally, I glance over my shoulder, meeting her gaze. Her grey eyes are cold, her lips pursed in a way that screams she's rehearsed this moment. "Talk," I say, my tone light. "Sure, Margaret. Dinner's almost ready. Want to set the table? Her jaw tightens. She's not here for pleasantries. Don't play games with me, she snaps. This has gone on long enough. I've spoken to David and we've agreed. You need to leave this house. The words hit like a slap, but I don't flinch. I've been expecting this. I set the knife down, wipe my hands on a dish towel, and turn to face her fully. Leave? I echo, tilting my head. This is my home, Margaret. Where exactly do you expect me to go? Her laugh is brittle, like breaking glass. Your home? Oh, Sarah, you've always been delusional. This house belongs to my family. David's family. You're just temporary. Temporary. The word stings, but I don't let it show. Instead, I lean against the counter, crossing my arms. And you think David agrees with you? He's my son, she says, stepping closer. He knows where his loyalties lie. You've been a distraction, Sarah, a mistake. It's time to correct it. Every word is a calculated jab designed to break me, but I've been broken before, by loss, by betrayal, and I've rebuilt myself stronger each time. Margaret doesn't know that. She sees a young woman she can intimidate, not the one who's been quietly gathering ammunition. She's so sure of herself, I think, my heart pounding. But she's walking right into it. Just a little further, Margaret. I force a smile. If you're so confident, why are you here? Why not let David tell me himself? Her eyes narrow, and for a moment I see a flicker of doubt. She recovers quickly, though, straightening her shoulders. Because I'm doing him a favour. He's too soft to say it, so I will. Pack your things, Sarah. You're done here. The oven timer dings, a sharp interruption. I turn away, pulling the roast from the oven, letting her words hang in the air. She thinks she's won, I narrate silently. She thinks I'm cornered, but she's about to learn how wrong she is. As I set the roast on the counter, I catch my reflection in the kitchen window. My eyes are calm, resolute. This isn't just about a house. It's about my life, my marriage, my right to exist in a space I've fought for. Margaret wants a war. I'm ready to give her one. Margaret doesn't sit for dinner. She paces the living room, her voice rising as she lays out her case. This house was my husband's pride, she says, gesturing to the walls as if they belonged to her. He built it for us, for David, not for you. I stay in the kitchen, cleaning up, listening. Every word she speaks is another nail in her coffin. She's so caught up in her monologue, she doesn't notice me slip my phone from my pocket and hit record. Keep talking, Margaret, I think. Give me everything I need. You've never belonged here, she continues, her voice dripping with disdain. You think you can just waltz in, take over, act like you're part of this family? You're nothing, Sarah. Nothing. The words cut, but I've learned to turn pain into fuel. I dry my hands and walk into the living room, standing across from her. Nothing, I say, my voice steady. That's funny, Margaret, because I'm the one who's been keeping this house together, paying the bills, fixing the leaks, making it a home. Where were you when the roof caved in last winter? Oh, right, complaining from your condo downtown. Her face flushes, but she doesn't back down. Don't you dare lecture me. I've given everything for this family. You're just a gold digger who got lucky. Gold digger. The accusation is so absurd I almost laugh, but I don't. I step closer, locking eyes with her. You really believe that, don't you? That I'm here for the money, the house, the status. But you're wrong, Margaret. I'm here for David, for the life we've built, and I'm not going anywhere. She scoffs, turning away. You'll go when I say you go. David will see reason, he always does. Will he? I think, my mind racing. David's been distant lately, caught between his mother's demands and our marriage. I've seen the doubt in his eyes, the way he hesitates when she speaks. But I know him. I know he loves me, and I'm betting everything on that. I glance at the clock. David will be home soon. Time is running out, but I'm not worried. Margaret's overplayed her hand, and I'm about to call her bluff. You're so sure of yourself, I say, my voice soft but laced with steel. But what if you're wrong? What if David chooses me? She freezes, her back to me. For the first time, I see a crack in her armor. He won't, she says, but her voice wavers. Oh, Margaret, I narrate silently, you're already caught. You just don't know it yet. The air outside is crisp, the sky bruised with twilight. I step onto the back porch, my breath visible in the cold. Under the deck, hidden behind a stack of old planters, is a metal lockbox. My hands are steady as I retrieve it, the key already in my pocket. Inside are the documents that will end this war, proof that Margaret's been playing a dangerous game. Back in the house, I spread the papers on the kitchen table. A contract, signed by Margaret, agreeing to sell this house to a shady real estate firm. Emails between her and the firm's agent, discussing how to remove the current occupant, me, without David's knowledge. And, most damning, a forged deed that lists her as the sole owner. She thought she could erase me, but she didn't count on me being one step ahead. You thought you could outsmart me, I whisper, my fingers tracing the forged signature. But I've been watching you, Margaret, and now I have everything I need. I pick up my phone and dial my lawyer, Karen. She's been with me through every step of this, helping me dig up the dirt on Margaret's schemes. It's time, I tell her. I've got the contract, the emails, everything. Can you file the injunction tomorrow? Karen's voice is calm, professional. Consider it done. With this evidence, Margaret won't have a leg to stand on. You sure you want to go through with the family meeting tonight? Absolutely, I say. I want her to see it all fall apart. I hang up and slip the phone into my pocket. The lockbox goes back under the deck, hidden where no one will find it. As I head inside, I hear Margaret's voice from the living room, still ranting about her rights. She's so consumed with her own narrative, she doesn't hear the front door open, David's home. Here we go, I think, my heart pounding. The final act. The dining room is lit by a single chandelier, its light casting harsh shadows on the walls. David sits at the head of the table, his face pale, his hands clasped tightly. Margaret is across from him, her posture rigid, her eyes gleaming with triumph. She thinks she's won. She thinks this meeting is her victory lap. I sit opposite her, my hands resting calmly on the table. The lockbox is in my lap, hidden from view. David looks at me, his eyes searching, but I don't meet his gaze. Not yet. Sarah, he says, his voice strained, Mum's been talking to me and she's right. We need to make some changes. You should leave. The words hit harder than I expected, but I don't react. I've prepared for this. I know David's under her spell, but I also know he's not lost to me, not yet. Margaret smirks, leaning back in her chair. See? I told you, Sarah, it's over. I don't respond. Instead, I open the lockbox and pull out the documents, placing them on the table one by one. The contract, the emails, the forged deed. Margaret's smirk falters as she sees them, her eyes widening. What is this? She asked, her voice trembling. I smiled, my gaze cold. This is evidence, Margaret. Evidence that you tried to sell this house behind David's and my back. Evidence that you forged documents to kick me out. And evidence that you made a fatal mistake thinking you could win. David looked at the documents, his face turning pale. Mum, is this real? Margaret stood up abruptly, her voice shrill. This is fabricated. She's trying to manipulate you, David. But David didn't listen to her. He picked up the contract, skimmed through it, and I could see the pain in his eyes. Mum, he said, his voice breaking, why did you do this? I stood up and walked towards Margaret. You thought you could control everything, I muttered to myself, but you made a deadly mistake. Margaret, I said, my tone calm but sharp. You have two choices. 1, you leave right now and let us be. 2, I take these documents to court and you lose everything. Your reputation, your freedom, everything. Which one will you choose? She looked at me, her face pale, her eyes filled with fear. She knew she had lost. Without a word, she turned and left the house, the door slamming shut behind her. David looked at me, his eyes filled with tears. Sarah, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I took his hand, smiling. I know David, and I will always fight for us. She's gone, I whispered to myself, the feeling of victory surging. And this house, this life, is mine.